this whole notion of customers are expecting a new engagement model from us, I don't think is a new thing. And what I mean by that is that's been happening for a long while, and the signals are there, particularly if we look at the ever decreasing access. And so they're speaking with their doors. They're speaking with the closure of their doors or the closure of their meetings to say, how you're currently engaging with me is not how I want you to or how I need you to. So you're wasting my time. I don't see value from that, of me investing my time, which is extremely valuable to them. So I'm going to be very selective with who I choose to engage with. And I think all that COVID has done is just accelerate and force the hand of the industry to shift.
The healthcare landscape is shifting and has been for some time. Increasingly complex treatment landscapes are driving the need for deeper, more meaningful interactions, so HCP's preference is increasingly leading toward conversations with MSLs. As HCP access continues to decline due to misaligned touchpoints and perceived lack of value, organizations are trying to leverage a more harmonized approach across the Matrix account team. This is leading to medical affairs and MSLs having a seat at the table, the strategic table, to inform and redirect corporate strategy.
It is a paradigm shift. We have been operating a certain way for a really long time, and this is a shift in the way we're seeing things, the way we're viewing things, the way that we're operating. But ultimately, I think the main point that I want to say at this point and underlying what leaders can do is preserving the integrity of the MSL role and definition and their responsibilities. Ultimately, this is about putting the clinician, the customer at the center of the interaction, and absolutely completely integrated together is the patient experience. So all of the research, everything that we're reading, everything we're seeing, everything we're experiencing with all of our customers leads to this same conclusion that this focus and this emphasis and this integration is where we need to go, and it preserves the integrity of the MSL role. They don't feel like they're selling, and it's not commercial. It's not about that at all. It's more about optimizing those outcomes for the clinician and ultimately providing more access to care, better access to care, and better outcomes for the patient.
To meet this new challenge, we have the opportunity to elevate the skills and behaviors of today's MSLs beyond the ability to engage in a scientific exchange. These new skills include confident communication to connect with HCPs and navigate conversations to facilitate change, the ability to translate clinical data to insights and transfer insights gathered to align with corporate strategy, understand multiple stakeholder challenges and motivations to better align an appropriate value proposition, critical thinking and problem solving to recognize opportunities and maximize the value of the interaction, effective matrix team collaboration and communication to generate and execute harmonized HCP strategic plans.
As a salesperson, how are you creating a broad awareness of the therapeutic area beyond just a point of prescription, provided it's on label? And
right.
that's the piece that's what differentiates you and gives you a competitive, sustainable competitive advantage when you can start to add value and help a clinician do what they want to do and do it better. And so I think that's the answer to why that's possibly happening. And a lot of that sits around training as well. And I come back to, and I don't mean that to sound like I'm selling, but that's invariably when it falls down, because we're asking people to do things differently and in a more impactful way without really supporting them on that change journey as well. Mm-hmm. Because the skills that they've had in the past aren't going to cut it in the future, particularly around the human behavior elements, the way you think, the critical thinking skills, emotional intelligence, how you engage, how you're listening, how you're asking questions, and the focus that you have as well. So,
the intended outcomes of an MSL excellence curriculum should include engage stakeholders in a relevant scientific exchange that facilitates change, develop strategic plans to align with HCP key decision points and influences, Build collaborative partnerships with the Matrix team. Support quality use of medicines to deliver optimal patient outcomes. The resulting MSL Excellence course roadmap is aligned with the skills and behaviors needed to meet the current and anticipated market trends. This curriculum includes courses that build an understanding of the patient pathway and stakeholder engagement mapping, apply storytelling for impactful and compelling presentation skills, navigating friction points, achieving commitment and facilitating change, establish effective matrix teams, strategic account planning and critical thinking, and execution excellence.